In today's video, I'm gonna show how to make a remix like this. I will break down everything step by step so we can recreate this style and get a clean, professional sound. I will also show you a few key techniques that make a huge difference in the final result, especially in the drop and the mix. And the best part is, you don't need a lot of sounds to make this work. So let's get started. For this track, I want a fast BPM, something like 134 could work. And the track I choose to remix is I Could Be The One. I just found the acapella of the track. It's not that clean, but we can definitely work around it. To try to avoid any copyright issues, let's produce the whole track one octave down. So let's pitch this vocal. Now we can start to add instruments like melody and chords. First I add silent. I'm using this synth because I want sounds that are close to the original track. This preset was built from the init sound. It's basically true square waves with a bit of noise on top. And to create that Avicii-style vibrato, assign the pitch to a level 1, then adjust the rate and add a small amount of gain. That gives us this characteristic vibrato effect. Now we have the melody. Since we pitched the acapella down, we should bring the melody down as well. Next, we need chords to support the melody. I'm gonna use this serum preset from Overload pack. This is the MIDI, also from the original track. Let's add another chord layer. This time we'll go for something with less detune and one octave higher. Then let's add plugins to these chords, starting with OTT. This really compresses the sound. A bit of Sounddizer. After processing, the sounds get muddy in the low end. To fix that, I'll use an EQ to cut the lows and tame the low midis around 250, which creates space for a separate bass layer. Next we have reverb, a sidechain which we'll use in the future, and another EQ to filter the sound. Right now we can add the bass, so I found this preset from Overload as well. Now let's copy the bass from the chords and drop into this bass layer. For this bass, I'm using disperser to add some punch, plus OTT, distortion, an EQ, another EQ acting like a filter. I also added a tape stop effect, which works really well here, and it's a free plugin by the way. And then we can automate the trigger to get something like this. Now that the main idea is in the place, we can finish the break, then move into the build up and the drop. Let's bring in some claps for rhythm. To make them a bit softer, I will reduce the highs and add some reverb. For the build-up, I'm using this plug. It has the classic Avicii vibe. Also in the build-up, we have another chord, which is pretty much the same layer used before, but with a filter. Right now we are missing the bass, so let's add a new layer. I chose this preset for the low end. And to keep it clean, I will cut some of the highs. We are missing snare fills, so let me quickly find something in the sample pack. We have a filter automation on the instruments and the claps. To keep the playlist clean, I linked everything to a single automation. If you're not sure how to do that, let me show you. I prefer adding the filter to each channel individually instead of routing everything to a bus. Then I create a regular automation clip. And on the other channels I want to link, I just right click the parameter, select link to controller and choose the same automation. Make sure remove conflicts is turned off, and now it's working. To fill up the build-up, we also have a few effects, which is also from Overload, like impacts, the lifters, and risers. And also a pre-drop fill. At this point, the break and build-up are pretty much done. Now all that's left is the drop, so let's move on. Let's start this drop with the kick drum. This one is great. Now the claps. And the open hats. And we also should add a top loop. For the drop lead, I'm using the same synth as before, however, it was lacking energy, so I added 2 more layers. As you can hear, each layer sounds slightly different, which helps make the lead more powerful. Then I added distortion. This plugin is actually free, by the way. A low cut EQ, more distortion. OTT, along with EQ to clean up harsh frequencies, Soothe to tame any resonances, and lastly the sidechain. However, we do have a mix issue here, and I want to show you a technique I like to use in this situation. The problem with this lead is that if you listen to this section, and then compare it to the higher part of the melody, you will notice that the higher section has some harsh, unpleasant frequencies. Because of that, it needs slightly different processing, so what I did was render just the higher section and then add a different processing, like this EQ and a multiband compressor to control some of these harsh frequencies. For this lead, I added a vibrato automation. In Serum, you can do this by routing an LFO to define pitch. Then, in Matrix, you can assign a macro knob, and now you can just control the intensity of this vibrato. For the drop chords, I'm reusing the same from the break. And now we have a new bass. With no processing, already sounds really dope, followed by the sub bass. And if you're looking for presets and samples like the ones I'm using, I want to introduce you Overload. It's a complete pack designed for producers who want professional quality sounds without spending hours searching for the right ones. Everything is modern, fully mixed and ready to go, so you can just drag and drop and build a professional track in minutes. It includes over 100 Serum presets with up-to-date mainstage ready sounds that work across multiple EDM genres. And you can download this pack right now in the first link in the description. So back to the bass processing, here is really simple. EQ to cut the sub, OTT, drive, another EQ to shape the highs and clean the sound, and sidechain. The sub layer also has some drive, EQ, and a longer sidechain curve to open space for the kick. For now the drop is almost finished, it just needs some white noise, this one-shot hit, and a few arrangement tweaks. So guys, that's it for this track. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now let's check it out, the final result.